Hello, and welcome to episode 49 and a half of High and Outside.
49.5.
An irreverent Sportsball podcast. I'm Oz, and as always, I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Mr. Bad Luck himself, MC Kamish. Why no episode 50, you say? We're pretty stoked about making it to 50 episodes. We wanted to do it really big. We have some people that we want to involve. Those people weren't available because it's summertime and we're coming up on holiday weekend, and we couldn't make it work. So here we are, episode 49.5. We wanted to record an episode, get something to your ears. So we're here with episode 49.5. We'll be back. More details on episode 50 soon, and hopefully we'll get that done in the next week or so. Stay tuned. As always, please check us out on social media at AOK Worldwide on Twitter. You can also find us on our domain at www.aokworldwide.com. That'll get you to anywhere you can find us, including iTunes, Spotify.
It's really the easiest way.
Yeah. But you can find us on iTunes and Spotify, and if you do, please subscribe, rate, review the podcast. We'd appreciate it. We'd love to hear from you. Now, Kamish. One-hitters.
Well, the NHL playoffs are over, and now it's on to the Stanley Cup final. It's just beginning. The second game is tonight, but the Montreal Canadiens, which I guess is like the underdog story, versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Defending champions.
Defending champions, right? That is correct.
Yep.
And Tampa Bay is leading 1-0 right now.
Yeah, 5-1 game one for Tampa. Kind of came out and we're like, yeah, we don't really care about your underdog story.
Yeah. Struck like lightning. And then F1. We're both getting into it. So quick, Matt, it's going to be more interesting this year than it's been. And I don't even follow it before this year really at all. But I even knew Mercedes was always at the top. No question. Well, now Red Bull is on top of Mercedes in the constructors. And Max, for the first time in it's first time for him, but first time in a long time that Lewis
5 or 6 years, yeah,
hasn't been the number one in the world or number one in points going to a world drivers championship. So it's great time to get into F1.
I will, it almost actually feels like, I don't know if you watched this weekend, but Toto Wolff, the head for Mercedes, was his comments after the race were basically just like, yeah, we just don't have the pace in the car. And it almost feels like and we talked about this last weekend, it almost feels like they're not going to fix the car. Mm-hmm. They're just looking towards next year and trying to get everything sorted out for the 2022 season, which is new car specs, new regulations, going to change everything. And everyone's trying to kind of play that game of are we actually potentially competitive this year? Because if so, we're going to try and win. But if we're not, then we're just
it's all
let's
about
figure out next year.
Managing those budgets of R&D and then running your team. So
Mercedes, it almost feels because if the radio communications last week between Lewis and Toto and those guys was just what do we do? How do we get better? How do we catch him? And then they were basically just keep pushing. Yeah. And it's just he was never going to catch Verstappen because they just don't have the car, and they're not going to put the work in, I think, to fix the car, because I think they're just, it's not that they're happy that they're, and we're talking about them after they went second, third.
Right. It's still a big deal, but it is just
the way it's going for Red Bull,
currently as it stands, Red Bull is Mercedesing Mercedes.
Yes. It's true.
It's a great time to be
and then
getting into F1.
These new regulations might bring a whole nother change of who's going to be good. And apparently there's all rumors of Ferrari is all these things up their sleeve. There's
there's a salary cap, so everything's been much more the regulations are awesome. It's switching over from the turbo hybrid era, I think it's a similar engine. I don't know, but there's a bunch of regulations, and you're just seeing the beginning of another season, or another era, because that's kind of how they measure F1 and engine eras. So behind it goes Max Lewis, Sergio Perez, another Red Bull guy, Lando Norris, and then Botox himself. And then in the constructors, Red Bull, Mercedes, McLaren, Mercedes, and then Ferrari. So great time to be getting into F1.
Indeed.
And on to, this is kind of a niche sport, but
Definitely made waves this week.
It was on ESPN during the pandemic, like disc golf.
Right, but this was all over social media, all over everything. This incredible shot that this guy hit.
So, and what makes it was at the World Championships, and he was going up against the GOAT, like Paul McBeth. He's won 5 world titles. He's got like over $1 million deal with Adidas, and he's actually shot an 18 under round. He shot a perfect round. And so he's going up against him, and it's James Conrad, and
they're playing disc golf, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think I said that. Paul Macbeth is, McBeast. Yeah, it's becoming a whole thing, especially on YouTube. But anyway, so he's going up against James Conrad, and James Conrad going into the 18th is one behind him, one above him, golf. And so he needs to force a playoff, obviously with Paul McBeth. And his drive, McBeth put a perfect one there. He's there's no way he can't get a birdie or a par. So then James Conrad duffs it off the tee and hits a tree and is way short. So he has to lay up. And now he's 250 foot out and he has to sink it to force a playoff. And by golly, ching!
Right in front of a huge crowd,
right,
too.
It was I'm terrible at judging crowd sizes, but it was like a gallery. It was it was definitely over 500 people.
It was a good size crowd, and it was once it went in, it's one of those things of it's the best thing about it's the best thing about soccer goals. It's the best thing about stuff like that is when you have to wait so long for
it was the Tiger's putt.
It's just one of those things that huge thing the reaction is going to be incredible.
And he just chained it, and then cherry on top, which thank God, because it makes it more epic. He did win the world title, first one for him ever. History, that was. I'm still getting a little goose pimples thinking about it because it was just so pure. Can't script that, man.
Nope.
And last thing I want to I'll talk to you. The Royals. Best described by a quote from Waterboy.
Oh no! We suck again!
And they're in last place in the Central. And, well, we done, son. Hey, Oz.
Hey, what's the haps?
In the NBA playoffs, we are down to the Western Conference, Eastern Conference Finals. We are down to depleted rosters, void of all of the superstars we expected to watch.
I hate when injuries switch momentum of games.
Yeah, I mean it's been one after another this year in the NBA playoffs. Last night, Giannis goes down with what looks to be a really terrible knee injury.
Landed funny, very funny.
Landed funny. The reaction was not good. The initial reports were basically they fear an ACL, all these things.
Getting an MRI.
Yeah, he goes down on the Hawks go on to beat the Bucks without Trae Young, who had previously turned his ankle or gotten a deep bone bruise after he stepped on a ref's foot the game before. And so the Hawks come back, tie the series, and Giannis, luckily, it came out this afternoon that Giannis had no structural damage in the knee. Mm-hmm. So he's basically got a hyperextended knee. There's still no timetable for a return. He's probably not playing. Yeah, he's not going to play the next game for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how, the Bucks after Giannis went out last night looked terrible, but teams always look terrible when the star goes down unexpectedly because you don't have your game plan was built to feed him, and
you're not going to make those adjustments mid-game.
No, you don't make those adjustments in a playoff game. It's just not going to happen. And so it'll be interesting to see what they look like on, I think it's tomorrow, Thursday night, or tomorrow, you're today.
Whoa.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what the adjustments they make. Will Trae Young be back for Atlanta? Does Atlanta basically be what do we have a chance now? Let's just close these guys out while Giannis is out.
Let's go.
I mean, we could legitimately be looking at a Hawks-Suns final, which I would love to know the odds you could get on that before the season because it's got to be just an astronomical number.
Some Leicester City betting type for them to win the championship.
Yeah, it'll be up there, big time up there. It has to be. But hey, here we are.
I'm all for. I'm on the Hawks bandwagon, but the problem is I do like the Suns. It's gonna see how the finals goes, but right now I'm on the Hawks bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep rooting for the Suns because I would love to see Chris Paul. I feel like he's been through so much to get there. I just would love to see him finally, one, get to the finals, but two, I'd really just like to see him win it. I appreciate what he did when he was in Oklahoma City and all those things. I just think he's like a really solid winner, so I would love to see him actually win something.
I've got you could say viewership bias because I don't stay up as late.
Oh,
for the West Coast, so I watch a lot of East Coast basketball. Like that's exclusive. So it's like I've got.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with viewership bias.
I say it makes perfect sense to me. I'm enjoying watching Trae Young in the playoffs, and he's kind of leaned into being the heel, just like he doesn't care, make people mad. He's just fucking here to win.
He looks like the Flash with his hairstyle and the red too. Like, dude, I'm all about Trae Young.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like he's been really like elevated his like stature in the NBA this playoffs. Like he's shown like I'm not just a good stats bad team guy. I'm just like, I'm actually can lead a team to win. Yeah, the shimmy, the whole thing. He's got a lot of swagger for sure. So I've enjoyed the Hawks. I would love a Hawks Suns final, even though it would be really weird. But it just all of it without the stars just feels it all feels a little like not asterisky because like there's no asterisk about it, but it just feels weird. I don't know.
Anticlimactic. We should be more stoked than we are.
I mean, for everything we say about like, sometimes people complain, well, it was like the Warriors and Cavs every year, and it's like, yeah, that got a little old, but at the same time, like it was a lot of fun having LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and all these people in the finals. Like, if we get to the finals and
Trae and Giannis are in there,
well, if one of those teams makes the finals and the superstars aren't playing, it's like
lame.
Well, and even if the Clippers make it and we don't get Kawhi, like that's
he's indefinitely out too. He's
right,
definitely
the Kawhi
out for
injury
Game 6,
is like really weird. It's like back to like his old. I don't remember if you remember when he was with the Spurs, but he had this like ongoing quad injury forever, and it was always like he was always day to day, but he never played. And it's like the Clippers are doing this weird, mysterious thing with this knee injury.
Well, it's like Belichick does that all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean they do.
So it's a coaching thing. I mean, I see it's strategy.
Sure, but it's just kind of like no one knows when he's coming back, if he's coming back. I would think if he was going to come back and he was healthy, like he would be back now. Game 6, like they have a chance to make the finals. Like Clippers, Suns is Game 6 is tonight. Our tonight, your today. Our tonight, your yesterday. There we go.
Sure.
Our tonight, your yesterday.
But then if you've watched it 2 days afterward, then
yeah, we can't do that.
We'll put up a program calculator on our website just for you guys.
Yeah, it's tonight. The Clippers desperately need playoff P come through again. He was huge the other night, 40 points.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I was watching that game, and he didn't have a very good first quarter.
No, he only scored 10 points the first half. He was not good.
And they're just hounding him. And then all of a sudden he's got 18, and then all of a sudden he's in the 20s. It's like, yeah, calm down, guys. Like,
yeah, I mean, George is like one of those guys where it's like he's real easy to pound on because he's never won anything. He's kind of regarded as like one top guy. He's certainly paid like a top guy, and like he's had some really tough moments in like big situations. I mean, those 2 free throws he missed the other night in the Suns game when they pulled out the Valley oop, like it was, that he's got to make those free throws. That's a big spot, and it's like he's kind of had that problem. But in Game 5, he was awesome. They need him to be awesome again in Game 6, because I don't know if Zubats is going to be back, but we'll see. They need to win, trying to force that Game 7. I'd love to see Game 7 in Phoenix. That place would be wild. So yeah, I'm all for Game 7s. So that's the NBA playoffs. We are just kind of waiting or just watching to see how these series play out. I mean, like I said, we're headed for Game 6 tonight in the West. Game 6 coming up in the East as well. Probably coming up in the East as well. So, it's exciting. It'd be better if Giannis and Trae came back in the East. Right now, the East series just feels a little like Like, I don't know what I want. I don't know. It just seems a little. I don't know that I want to watch that. But anyway, that's where we're at. Should be fun. Now on to this week's edition of the Clubhouse.
The Clubhouse. Travelers was on Sunday.
Indeed. There was a lot on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely.
We traveled on Sunday too, and I was like really exhausted. So like did the F1, or tried to get up and watch F1. I got up for like the national anthem before the F1 race and like the first couple laps, and then I immediately fell asleep. And then I woke up as they were doing the podium. So
nice
I pretty much just
nap.
fully missed it.
Yeah.
Even though that's why I got up early when we had gotten back to Kansas City at like
just
1 a.m.
flew right
and I was
by.
like, nah, I'm going to get up because I really want to watch the F1 race. And it was just like, yeah, well, that was great in theory. I watched soccer all day. And then I don't remember why I wasn't watching that. I don't know. But Travelers was on.
Yeah. And it was a good tournament, and it tied, like, the reason why I actually watched the 8-hole playoff. Like, it was just tied for the second longest. And there was just, like, even to get to the playoff, there was epicness. There was, like, so much. It was against, Kramer Hickok and then Harris English. And Kramer, he's kind of, like, the crowd was on his side. And they were definitely not for Harris English.
No.
But they just kept going. And Harris, man, he just bossed his way through and won. Amazing. Like, mentally strong. It was great. Like, that sucks you missed it. But obviously it's probably been all over social media. So
I became aware of it. And I think like Julia was watching something at that point, and I was just like, I'm not going to make her change it for this 8-hole golf playoff. I was just kind of following it on Twitter, but that I did see. I mean, I saw that it was crazy. Like, people were tweeting about the playoff, and it's like, I was like, are they still playing? Like, they're still in a playoff? Jesus.
Well, I was trying to do something, like, so I was like, oh, this is the 18th hole. Just finish the coverage. It's like, okay, playoff hole. I'm like, all right. I'm just like, it's like, goddamn, man. It's like I actually had shit to do, but I could not leave the TV.
It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah. It was. I'm glad I witnessed it live, though. Like, oh, it was cool.
Yeah. Speaking of witnessing things live.
World football, man.
World football. I don't have a lot for anything else in the Clubhouse. They're at the Rocket Mortgage this week. Good luck to all involved.
Yes.
Hopefully it's a good tournament.
Godspeed. Hit them. Keep it in the short grass. Thank you, Nathan. I can't put it on. I went climbing yesterday, so I was at work, and whatever, fuck, take that shit away. I had to stop work because I was like, man, using the mouse is tiring to me right now.
Good Lord, man.
Climbed pretty hard last night.
No kidding. Anyway, back to world football. We're not going to let you change the subject.
Yeah, fuck.
So, we have our ongoing Euros 2020 pool. It's been very competitive. It's been very close.
And we were low on your team for a long time, and then it just switched.
Yeah, now my team has taken a bit of an edge here and kind of a stranglehold on this thing. The chances for Kamish have depleted. They depleted very quickly over the last couple days. I'm going to let him get into that, but I'm just going to lay out for everyone who's listening who relies on this podcast for, finding out what's going on in the world, which if you're doing that, I would suggest other methods. I'm just saying, like, we're
awesome.
We're awesome. I'm just saying, like, don't rely on us for the news or for what's going on in sports, because, like, we're going to tell you, but, we only come to you once a week, and, there's just a lot of other ways. Anyway.
So long story apparently
short,
don't listen to us.
We're Euro 2020. I'm going to bring you up to speed of where we're at, who's left. We made it through group play. We made it to knockout play in the brackets.
I was pretty damn confident coming out of group play.
Yeah, coming out of group play, it looked like Kamish had the best squad. He had the best teams, and then the first round of knockout play happened, and all of a sudden, it's a single game, and we don't, no draws, and all of a sudden it gets weird. We are now on to the quarterfinals, which start on Friday.
Did you say the current total of points?
I'm going to, but
okay.
I want to bring everybody up to speed of where we're at. So our quarterfinal matches are Switzerland and Spain, and Belgium, Italy, which is just a freaking phenomenal quarterfinal match. Those are Friday. Saturday, Czech Republic, Denmark.
Yeah, Czech Republic
Totally
is
out
one
of
of mine.
nowhere for that to be a quarterfinal. And then Ukraine versus England, also a little out of nowhere. So, what that means for terms of our ongoing wager is that I currently lead Kamish 55 points to 47 points.
Fucking shit.
It means that
That's why we introduced me as Mr. Bad Luck.
it means that Kamish has 2 teams left and I have 4.
Oh, God.
The good thing for Kamish is that 2 of my teams are playing each other. So one of them is going to get eliminated, but I also am going to get 5 points no matter what.
Guaranteed.
The other ones, it's like you need some help. You need Ukraine to beat England, which would be an upset.
Mm-hmm.
You need the Czech Republic to beat Denmark, which is like they're kind of even, but it might be a little bit of an upset too. But that would be huge for you because then you would have the entire you would be the only person capable of scoring points on the entire side of a bracket. And the big one is Belgium, Italy, because that's a head-to-head match for us. I have Belgium, you have Italy.
When is that?
That game is on Friday at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Damn it. Like we were texting this weekend, I wish we could watch
Dude,
that one
I'm
together.
gonna be watching it.
Well, I'm saying I wish we could watch that together.
Yeah, it's holiday weekend. Friday afternoon is gonna be slow, I imagine.
Yeah. Boss is gone.
That's gonna be a great game. You really need Italy to win.
Yes.
Like it's over if you have to have both your teams win, and you need some help. You need England to go down, I think, too.
Yeah.
So,
not looking good for our heroes.
I've already started to kind of think about the kit that we're going to hang into the rafters, and then I'm going to wear proudly as my
We still have to set up the
prize.
trophy cases. We talked about that, right? Mine, of course, would be, here is my trophy case. We need to actually add one for you. For anybody not watching the podcast, or the video cast, whatever, that word, I pointed to nothing. Literally nothing. I have yet to win a thing. I feel like a chump.
Would you go with a Portugal alternate, or I really like the anyway.
Oh God. It's like a kick to the little soccer balls.
Well, you said you wanted to go tell us about what about your teams.
So
I'm gonna clear the deck here for Kamish.
all right, this is I texted you about this. This is a bucket list item. So I've always wanted to be bleeped. So in post production, I'm gonna go on my little rant about my team, and just because I fucking want to, I'm gonna bleep it. Hey, I am what I am. I do what I do. It be what it be. All right. Me, man. Like, what the France? Like, those little bastards.
Best team in the tournament.
Can supposedly, with one of the best players in the world, can't score, chokes it out.
They scored 3 goals, man. What about the back line?
Oh my, exactly.
You can't give up 8 ones.
Exactly. And like we were talking about it. It's like, no, Switzerland's out, and I'm just like fist pumping. I'm like, yeah, how could? And they blow it. Those motherfuckers, unbelievable. And then people getting sent off the Netherlands game, but that was Czech Republic versus the. And then and my other team, like the only 2 teams in the round of 16 who got yellow cards were my teams. Like, goddamn, like I can't catch a break. All right, done with that. That was probably too loud on the mic, but I stand by all that.
Maybe your team should
Not suck.
avoid the studs up challenges. Getting tossed out of games. Also, the Netherlands one didn't cost you anything.
I know. It's the principle of the thing.
I actually do think it cost you something because I think the Netherlands is much better than the Czech Republic. And
Yes,
so
they blew that fucking game too.
they had a chance. If the Netherlands wins, you have a better chance of beating Denmark.
Yeah. We were high. Coming out of group, we were high on my team and low on your team, but that is not true.
Well, and Italy didn't even look that good. Italy got pushed to the absolute brink. We were in Vegas watching Italy, Austria, and I have Austria in our pool, and I also bet on Austria because why not? I got 7-1 odds on Austria while I was in Vegas. And we're sitting there watching, and it's all Italian. It's all Italy fans. Like,
And I think there was a
whole
couple Italians.
group of Italy people around us, and I am the only person rooting for Austria. And
I leaned over to the guy next to us. I was like, "Are you guys for Italy?" I was like, "He's not."
Yeah, pretty much.
He
Just
was
totally
like
sold me
the
out.
only guy.
And Austria, like, at one point, Austria scored to go ahead pretty late in the second half, and they got called back for offsides. But like there for a minute, it was offside. But there was a time there where it was a little tense because I was like, "Let's make some money, man!" Like, and then eventually Italy comes back, goes to extra time. Italy scores twice in extra time. Austria comes back to get a goal and then make it a little interesting going towards the final. But
you know what is something just to fucking, I don't think I told you this because I forgot to check it. So I bet on Italy, but I bet the spread, not just on Italy.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't even fucking win my bet.
No.
I did. The only thing I won was that bet on Sporting.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Shout
and
out
then
Sporting.
I put that $25 all on black and then fucking lost that shit. But that's why I love roulette. Like, I was telling you in Vegas, my bucket list item is to take an amount with a comma, fucking show up at a table, bet it all on black, and just see what the hell happens. Obviously, I will have to save up. Like, I just don't, like, I'm not flush with cash. This would be a plan. But you should be there. You should be there. Everyone should be there. As if we double our money or just get shit canned.
The bigger question comes when after you win the first time.
Gone.
Not letting it ride, bro?
No. I don't win anything.
Fair enough.
And if it's an amount with a comma, I'm going to want that amount with a comma more.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Weekly ING. Kamish. What you watching, my man?
I've been watching the Euros, the playoffs of the NBA, the NHL playoffs, and then I did watch quite a bit of the Travelers. And I've been playing, once we got back from Vegas, I didn't really watch except like crackheads getting arrested, a bunch of weirdos on the strip. Yeah, so I watched that, but then I've been playing COD. What about you, man?
Euros, we watched the Fast and Furious movies because I'm going to go finally see that new one. And then I'm playing Mario Golf. I got the new Mario Golf game. Very pleased with it so far.
With your bet you won from Sporting, right?
Yeah, money I won on Sporting. Shout out Sporting. Highs and lows. My high is holiday weekend. This weekend, Vegas was fun. Then my low is traveling right now really sucks. Just FYI. Anything that like happens weather-wise or anything else, they're overbooked. They're trying to expand their routes. They don't have the help they need. It's just a mess, and you just end up in like.
And that's part of my low,
situations.
right? I mean, due to situations beyond our control, we didn't get a golf at that course we wanted to golf at.
Yep.
That was just bad luck on that. But my high was driving a motherfucking Lambo. That was a lot of fun. And then the drift riding experience, equally as fun. Like, bucket list item, check. That was, got up to 130.
I was legit jealous. Like, when I'd never thought about doing any of that, but like I've seen it more recently, like a couple times randomly, just like seeing people do it, and it's like pretty fun.
It got a coach, got up to 130, and like it was fucking awesome.
Nice.
I'll never own a Lamborghini, so it was fucking dope. Do it. Kind of expensive, but do it if you get the chance.
Word. Another high. The NCAA officially cleared names, image, and likeness that will start on July 11th.
Nice.
So players can officially use their name, image, and likeness to make money.
Good.
That means we're going to get an NCAA football game, undoubtedly. Finally going to get that back.
Unless it's done in the same engine in Madden, then it's going to suck.
Well, I would hope
sucks.
that they will put some effort into it, but you never know.
It's EA.
I'm just going to hold out hope, dude. At some point in time, they made a very good
expectations are low.
game. They made a very good game.
10, 15 years ago. Yes.
I know. I'm just saying it's not like they can't do it. We know that they can make good games. They made good games in their history. This is the difference between Commish and I. He's like legitimately just is just like, no, it's gonna suck no matter what. And then
they've had
like,
10 years of disappointments for like me to
For
not
Madden.
have faith in them.
They haven't made this game in a long time. It's a whole new,
But if it uses this, anyway, another high and low for me.
Madden could be a great game this year, and Alex wouldn't buy it because he would just be like, no, it's ETA, it sucks.
No, I've seen it. I've seen why it's bad.
Oh,
And
I
it's-
know. I'm just saying.
If it was good,
there
I
could
would
be
buy
reviews that would be EA made Madden. It's a great football game, like from legitimate people that you respect, and I don't think you'd buy it.
And if I showed the footage, yes, I fucking love Madden. That just hasn't. It's been garbage. Anyway, high and low. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I just feel like I come from an informed position.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, like you come from an informed position, but we don't know what the college football game. We haven't even heard that it's going to be on the same engine as Madden. You're just shooting it down,
if.
bro.
I said if.
You just.
Anyway, high and low for me. If I don't know if any other climbers listen to this podcast, but I am finally retiring. That was loud. Retiring on the out to pasture. These are actually the first shoes I ever bought, but they taught me well. They've been through some shit.
Do we need to play taps or something?
Burp. But then with death brings a new life, and that means I get to find and buy another pair. So there's a high and low, and it's like, yeah, if you were a climber, you'd understand, but you're not, and that's cool.
All right. Well, with that said,
Waffles?
something to eat for sure.